We're back in Gotham City, but yes,
You
the
played the
intro,
wrong intro.
that's because I don't have it in the thing anymore. And yep, I was like, oh crap, that's right. Got to get back to the Batman intro, and no longer in the StreamYard thing. So I was like, oh, where is it? And then I was like, at the last minute trying to find it in the in my folders, couldn't find it. So sorry about that, but yes, that was the Superman intro, but it's still the DC Fan-imated intro.
It
And
is. It
we're back.
really is.
We're back to Gotham City today, aren't we?
Yes, because we're in the new Batman Superman adventures.
Ooh, we're getting to that point. Oh man, it's gonna be fun times. But yeah, thank you guys, of course, for joining in. Let's see, we got Mr. Venom right here. Good to see ya. Okay, and we got a couple other guys here too having conversations with each other. But yeah, thank you guys, of course, from joining in. Oops. But yes, it was the Superman intro. Yes, I know it was. I know. I was like, oh yeah, I got rid of that. I got rid of it, and then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh crap, I gotta bring that back, and then nope, didn't have it. I was like, where did I freaking put that video? And I was looking through my folders, couldn't find it. So I'll get it back. Don't worry, guys.
It almost feels appropriate because it was really weird watching Holiday Nights on Max today.
Yeah.
On my lunch break, because they still use the old school, the original Batman the Animated Series intro. But when Holiday Nights aired in 1997, oh no, it aired as part. I discussed it kind of briefly at the end of last week's episode, but it aired as that 1 hour programming block called the New Batman Superman Adventures, which had its own opening credit sequence. It had a brand new Shirley Walker theme. That's a really cool theme if you haven't bothered to go back.
Yes, it is.
I mean, dun 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 dun. And it's like as soon as you start to hear like a little Superman motif, it's like a Batman motif comes in. It's such a great intro.
Good mix. Such a good mix. And I'm trying to remember. I mean, like they eventually do change like the new Batman Adventures to the new Batman Adventures intro, right? Or is
no,
it always
there is no new Batman Adventures intro. No,
that's right.
Because this season, what is officially referred to as season 3 of Batman the Animated Series, only existed as a portion of the new Batman Superman adventures.
Okay. Because I was trying to remember. I was like, oh yeah, I remember they go back to that original opening title. Then I was like, open title sequence, but I was like, what did they change it to like something different? Because I mean, obviously we're coming into Batman, and we're a couple of few years down the road here because we have a new Robin, we have Batman's new costume, we have all it's not the same Batman that we left back when we did Batgirl Returns, when we left after Batgirl Returns, which is kind of funny because of course Batgirl is in this movie.
It is. But you got to remember that it's been in real time. If we go back to the 90s, it's been 2 years since we've had Batman the Animated Series.
So in 2 years, we jumped from Dick Grayson to Tim Drake, which is kind of funny because I know like later on we actually do get that episode where we meet Tim for the first time. So things kind of go out of order, like when it comes to like.
Yeah, this episode is weird because there's a couple of things that go out of order because we get introduced to Tim Drake before we actually get Tim Drake's Jason Todd origin. I'm gonna just put that out there. And Clayface is back.
Yeah.
We don't have an explanation for that.
We don't have any explanation. I mean, it was almost just like, okay, it's not a Christmas episode, but it's a holiday episode because we jump from certain points around obviously in December. And I actually forgot. I was like, I remember this episode, but I forgot that basically it's like a it's like a 3 parts, three different adventures like kind of happening right here with 3 different villains, and it's it was pretty cool. I totally forgot, but then of course we were talking about this briefly before we went live, but we love the end of this episode so much.
The ending is so good.
Yeah, like when we show the clip, we're gonna show that ending.
Oh, we're gonna show that. Oh, absolutely, because this was. And we've discussed this briefly before. I can't remember if I went into more detail on it on Deep Freeze or our Sub-Zero.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is, with the exception of one story that's completely removed because due to Deep Freeze and Sub-Zero, it doesn't fit at all anymore. This is an incredibly faithful adaptation of the Batman Adventures Holiday Special #1 that was published in December of 1994.
Nice.
Interesting, though, is that this issue came out during the original run, so there is no Tim Drake Robin. There actually is no Robin in the comic at all. And the character designs all look like the OG character designs from like the original run of the series. But other than that, and you take out the Mr. Freeze story that doesn't fit anymore because of Deep Freeze and Sub-Zero, the other 3 stories are beat for beat dialogue just pulled straight off the page because Paul Dini wrote or co-wrote every story in the holiday special, and then Paul Dini is the writer of this episode.
Yeah, I saw his name flash up there. I was like, there he is. There he is. But yeah, it is kind of interesting because I remember as a kid and when this season premiered and just being kind of jarred by the animation difference from the original.
I wanted to ask you about that. So, how do you feel? Because really, in this episode, we don't see all of them, but we get a good chunk of all of the character redesigns in this episode. And Dave, I did want to ask, so overall, what are your feelings about these redesigns?
I don't like it. No, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. I just remember it being jarring when I would watch that. I was just remember like, I probably was like the whole episode going, why is this supposed to be earlier? Why is Robin young? Because you don't know like exactly what is all happening right now. But I mean, when it comes to the designs, looking at them again, I mean, they're a little bit more cartoony, I guess you could say. I do like the original animation more when it comes to, I mean, obviously one of the biggest changes is of course Batman's costume, because we went from the blue and gray with the oval emblem to black and gray. Oh yeah, and also the utility belt has the pouches. And then we got
I really like Batman's redesign.
You do, okay?
I do. I really, really love the Bruce Wayne redesign.
Yeah, he's got prettier eyes.
He's got prettier eyes. He actually has like bat eyebrows. Look at his eyebrows.
Yeah,
as we go on, he's got like
a lot more emotion on his face.
Oh, and we got rid of that frumpy brown double-breasted. He is like, that is like tailored. Like he's got that. He goes from that double-breasted brown suit to this black, single-breasted suit becomes like his character model as Bruce Wayne, and it's stylish. It's very stylish. So I really like the Bruce Wayne Batman redesign myself.
Yeah, it's like a love-hate thing because you get so used to that Batman the Animated Series design, and obviously we talked about it for technically 88 episodes if we want to include the 2 movies. So just to have it to go to this, so now it's just like it's just kind of, for me, it takes a while to get used to again. Like I like Tim Drake's design. It's similar obviously to the Dick Grayson design, but he's wearing the red pants, the red tights as opposed to green tights when it comes to his pants, at least. So it's a little different. And I don't think like the whatever that goes down the middle, like the stitching. There's only 3 of them in this. Did the original Robin only have 3, or was that all the way down? I'm trying to remember now. No, I think he only had the 3 too. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But similar design when it comes to Robin is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but at least Tim Drake was different because he's a new character.
Yeah,
so that's the. I like the Batgirl redesign. I like the colors on her suit in the
darker
redesign.
Blue. I really dig that. Like when it came to the redesigns, I think I liked hers the best. Her costume to me was like the best redesign out of all of them.
I hate the Joker redesign.
Thank you, because those eyes bug the shit out of me.
The eyes bug the shit out of me, and there's no lips. He
Yeah.
has no lips. The best design, and we'll get to it later,
Yeah.
was when they redesigned him again for Return of the Joker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
they kept that redesign for Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Like that is like that's a good design, but I hate this season's design of the Joker. It's
Yeah.
like
I
no.
don't like the blacked out eyes with like the white pupil. I don't know. It's weird. It's just it's very strange. So yeah,
Harley kind of
looks
she's
the same. She
looks
just
the
looks
same. Yeah.
smaller. Ivy is different for sure because
She's
obviously,
pixie. She looks more pixie.
yeah,
I don't understand the choice to give her like white looking skin. Like I
yeah,
don't.
that was different. It was like, why do that? Because that was weird because it made her look like I don't know because we already got Harley that's like that. So I don't know. That is a weird choice.
Gordon.
Harvey, yeah, Gordon's skinnier.
Gordon's skinnier. Like he looks frailer for some
Yeah,
reason.
he looks
Yeah,
more frail. Bullock looks fatter.
he does look fatter. That is true.
Montoya kind
Montoya's
of looks,
Montoya.
yeah,
Yeah.
she kind of looks the same. So, but yeah, so just a little bit, slightly. It's not that doesn't take away from enjoying these episodes, but yeah, it's just kind of cool that we get the three and we start off, of course, when it comes to Harley and Ivy hiding out in like some kind of small apartment. We don't know why exactly they're hiding out, but they're hiding out. And then I love it because like Harley, she wants to have a Christmas tree, and it's like, do you know who you're talking to?
Well, the other thing that's actually in the comic that they don't bring up in the episode.
Mm.
Harley's Jewish.
Oh, whoops!
Like Poison
Harley,
Ivy even points that out in the comic book. She's like, "Aren't you Jewish?" And she's like,
yeah.
"Yeah, so it's pretty." like they actually,
That would have been a funny joke, but maybe they thought, we're not going to get into the whole religion aspect of it when it comes
I
to
don't
it.
know either. It's also just because I like being persnickety about these things. They changed the dates from the dates in the comic.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
in the comic, this adventure takes place on December 17th. In this episode, it takes place on December 22nd. And the story in the comic was called The Harley and the Ivy.
I like it.
Because the word you were looking for earlier, you were like, it's a lot of little stories. It's like it's called an anthology, Dave.
Mythology. There you go. And I just thought about that the other day too, because I know like it had to do with Halloween, and I know the rights got sold to like Miramax, and they talked about doing like a cinematic universe. I'm like, don't call it that. Call it an anthology, because that's what they were trying to do when it came to Season of the Witch. If you guys remember that one, or like they were trying to do something different when it came to the Halloween series. And I'm like, just do an anthology. But yeah, that's exactly the word I was looking for right there. Thank you.
But otherwise, like I said, except for pointing out, and it's also really funny too, is I always, this reminds me a little bit of, okay, go back to the first episode when Harley and Ivy teamed up, literally called Harley and Ivy. And I always remembered how skimpy they always dressed whenever they were just hanging out together. Remember, I told you like that always made me think about the relationship that eventually became canon between those two. And I'm like, it's even more so, in this.
I mean, they're
Portion of the
essentially
episode.
hanging out in their undies. That's, I mean, it's a shirt. I mean, she's wearing like a shirt, but they're wearing like short shorts, and yeah, when they're hanging out,
It is actually in the comic. Harley actually is wearing undies.
oh, jeez. But they had to add a little bit to it. It is a kid's show, right?
It is a kid's show, right? Kid's show.
Yeah, and then of course we get to a Halloween, or not a Halloween party, a Christmas party where Bruce is at, and we get to see Veronica again here.
Oh, it's
right?
at her house.
Oh, it's at her house. Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't sure where
as
it
the
was
car drives up, there's
at. You
there's
see
an
the
archway. It says Vreeland.
That's right. That's right. And then of course she's asking what he's going to be doing for his for Christmas. And Bruce is gonna be, hey, just I'm gonna be by myself. Why this? Why that? But then of course we get a slew of young ladies who are just gawking all over him because he's at the mistletoe.
Is that the mistletoe? And they remind me of that gaggle of ladies at the party in Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah,
The one with the what about the I word? Engagement.
Yes. Yeah, it does remind me of that. But there's more of them in here.
There's a lot more of them. That is
a
true.
lot more of them. Of course, he's under the mistletoe, and then of course we see him get kissed by someone. But I like how it's shown because you just see shadows, and so you can automatically assume it's either one. You first go Poison Ivy, but obviously it ends up being Harley.
No, it is Poison Ivy. It's because you got to look at her hair.
I thought it was Ivy. I thought she did it the first time.
No. Okay, I thought you just said it's Ivy. Harley will
do
it.
Wait, it's Harley. Harley does it later. I thought
Harley does it later. Ivy kisses him at the party.
Okay. I thought for some reason, we got a little mix up right there because I thought because I automatically thought it was Harley, but I thought when they were explaining it, maybe because I had football game watched at the same time. I got.
Oh, you mean you weren't giving your full attention?
Of course not. There's too much happening on Sunday, and there's a baseball playoff that's happening right now too. So much is happening on Sunday. Anyways, but yeah, I think that's okay. So it was Ivy that kissed him the first time. Because okay, I thought they were explaining it as Harley did it when they actually do that whole villain explain everything kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the exposition, yeah.
Yes, which of course causes Bruce to be under control of something, and when he walks past the car, and he obviously the car is you see the thumbnail of this very stream. That's what he ends up seeing because they want to go on a shopping spree, and why not, get the richest man pretty much in Gotham to take him on a shopping spree for the holiday season.
Oh yes. The funny thing about one, I love the fact that the store was called Bergdorf's.
Yeah.
instead of Bergdorf's. and then this is such a we're old reference, but I love it when Bruce Wayne is being forced to buy all the things for Harley and Ivy and he's having to sign credit card slips. It's wow, those are the days.
That doesn't happen anymore. You just hold your card out or you slip the chip in and it goes beep, approved. Sometimes you might have to do a little digital signing, but yeah, he's just, and it's kind of an interesting little montage. It's got Christmas music and you got Harley and Ivy trying on different outfits, jewelry and all that stuff. It's very much, it's just like a Christmassy montage that happens. And then of course, yes, you see Bruce signing all the receipts. Struggling, of course, you can see the on his face because he's trying to just break out of the spell, but he cannot.
And then I love it when they go up the elevator, they're going to a different floor in Bergdorf's, and he's the pack mule. Not only does he have to buy everything, he also has to carry everything.
Yes, and then he starts resisting. He finally starts resisting, and then this is where Harley is gonna give him a kiss and starts putting on the toxic lipstick, but Bruce using his brain and falling down that elevator shaft, knowing very well that he could make his way up and make his way out of that.
I don't even know if he meant to fall down the shaft. It worked to his advantage.
It totally did. And then naturally they thought, oh well, he's dead. Oh well, we have his credit cards.
Well, I love the first part. Well, we're going to kill. I love the point.
We're going to kill him anyways.
We're going to kill him anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was no big thing for them. They were shocked at first, but then they're like, well, we were going to do that. And well, we got his credit card. So why not? So of course they take off. And then of course, Bruce gets into some Batman gear. So we finally get that newly revamped Bat costume, at least when it comes to this story.
Yeah, and I also appreciate the fact that I noticed as I was watching, and this I did not remember, but the different segments of the anthology are not consistently animated. And the Harley and Ivy story has the primo, and I'm not even saying that the Batgirl Clayface one doesn't either. The Joker story has the worst animation of the anthology, but the Harley and Ivy story has the primo, the shading, the movement, all the things that I talk about when I talk about this episode is animated incredibly. It's in the Harley and Ivy story. So I'm glad that when we get to see the new bat suit and the new design, it's fluid and it's butter and it's we're getting it in the best way we can.
There's a shot where he's looking through the window and you just kind of see a silhouette in his eyes. in this
Yeah.
episode. It just that looks really good. And I love the fact that I think like more so. I mean, not saying like when with the season 1 and 2 he didn't do it, but seems like there's a lot more of the cape around the shoulders.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree with that. I think it's part of the. I think it's just part of the design because another thing that happens because they go with the black and gray, they don't have to worry about trying to animate the almost black blue with the like that blue highlight because now it gets to be streamlined. It's like no, the cape is just black.
Yeah, makes it.
So
Yeah. And then he follows them to a toy store, and of course, you get the toy store at night, and of course, in Gotham City, everything's so big, so everything's like stacked up. There's towers of things, and they're on top of like this tower of toys, and then he climbs up and gets punched right in the face by Ivy with a big, huge boxing glove. He gets his bell rung.
Oh no, and then Harley swings the mallet and like really smacks him like really hard. It's really funny because in the comic, going back to the whole Harley's Jewish reference, because I think Ivy says something about Merry Christmas, Batman, and Harley goes, Happy Hanukkah,
Bam,
as he smacks him.
Now, is this the first time that we've seen her with a mallet? That's what I was wondering. As I'm like, have we seen her swing? Because obviously this becomes like her
signature.
One of her, signature weapons because it's the bat, it's the mallet. I mean, obviously the mallet, we saw that big time in Birds of Prey movie. But yeah, I'm like, it might be. I don't think we have seen her do that. We've seen her swing things. I don't know.
I think you might be onto something.
Hey, I got Scott rubbing his chin. Look at that. Look at that. And now you're making the De Niro face.
You're good. You're good.
Oh God, yo. Yeah. God, I love that movie.
And that's a great movie.
I fucking love that movie. So yeah, he gets his bell rung a little bit when it comes to that, but he uses his not enough to where he doesn't use his brain to grapple gun, which of course the grapple gun's slightly
okay. Good. You noticed that too. Okay, so let's talk about while we're talking about redesigns.
Yeah,
I feel like this is gonna be like a running theme. Is like so. Let's talk about this week's redesign.
Yeah, right. So the grappling gun, it's not. It's. I mean, obviously, it's still the grappling gun, but it's not like how the season 1 and 2, where you can hold it in between your fingers and just.
He still holds it between his fingers.
Yeah,
and this
still doing that, but it's just it doesn't have the explosion and the as it did before.
No, it doesn't, because this one isn't. This one looks more like a bat grappling gun,
yes,
and it's not so much the deco look. I'm going to be honest. I prefer the original grappling gun look.
So do I.
I like the deck. It's just so iconic.
It is. And that sound too. It's like,
oh yeah,
this one has a little bit more of like a more technological sound, like a like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the other one was just like, that sound was just,
and the smoke
strong.
that would erupt from it. Yes.
Yeah. Then it would just come out, and this time it just basically just stuck into. Well, obviously he shoots it at the Christmas tree to knock it over, so it falls on. There's a lot of things that fall on people. Basically, the common theme of these 3 stories is grab something around you that's Christmassy and let it fall onto the villain. If you think,
oh my goodness, I actually didn't.
Yeah.
It's how every villain gets defeated in this episode.
Dude, that just hit me right now. I was like, wait a minute.
God.
I was like, wait, the Christmas tree falls on him. The Santa
falls on Clayface.
And then the bell falls on
Joker. Oh my God.
Yeah, it just hit me right now. I was like, yeah, that's the common theme of these 3 stories, this anthology raider. So yeah, and then of course you get the joke of like Ivy going, well, here's your Christmas tree. And then she's like, you happy? And she was like, yeah. And then an ornament hits her in the head, of course.
Oh, it's really funny in the comic because it's the comic book. Ivy actually says, you got your beep Christmas tree.
Oh, she drops an F-bomb.
She drops an F-bomb in the tap of like all the symbols.
And then we get to now we're at Christmas Eve. right? And
which is interesting because in the comic, this actually was supposed to happen on December 3rd.
okay,
Because the Mr. Freeze story that's omitted from this episode was supposed to be the Christmas Eve story.
gotcha.
So this story, whether it's December 24th or December 3rd, in the comic, the story was referred to as Jolly Old St. Nicholas, which
Makes
I
sense.
think is hilarious considering who gets dressed up like Santa in this story.
Harvey Bullock, everybody. Like I said, looking fatter than usual. And
Oh
then
my
we got Montoya, who's like one of the elves, and they're doing a little stakeout because apparently there's been some robberies that have been happening in this department store. And naturally, to do a stakeout, why not just dress up as Santa Claus, Harvey Bullock? Perfect. Perfect for him, making kids cry, not giving a shit, probably drunk. It's bad Santa,
It's bad.
essentially.
It is bad Santa.
Yeah.
However, he gets that one moment with the little girl when he realizes that
yeah.
he's the one who put her dad away.
Yeah, she's like, it's all cute and everything. Can you bring my dad home, or what is he? You know, and then I forgot what his name was,
A
but
mad dog. I mean, Mike McSweeney.
there you go. Yeah, yeah. And he's like, I put her away. I was like, oh shit. It's like, and then he gives her cash. It's like,
Go buy yourself something. Can I get daddy something? As long as it's not a hacksaw.
yeah, that was good. That was good. But naturally, when we see like these little kids, and it's kind of funny because what happens here with Clayface sets up a future episode.
I know. Well, and
Yeah,
that's funny because this would take place after a few. That's where the continuity of this episode gets.
continuity is all crazy. Yes.
It's all crazy. Because Clayface hasn't come back yet.
No.
But you're right. What we see in the future episode
Yeah,
ties into what happens in this episode.
that's a good episode too. Oh
It's
my
such
god,
a good episode.
it's a good Tim Drake Robin episode.
Great Tim Drake episode.
Sad
Yes.
too. It hits you in the feels. Definitely.
Oh, it's one of those. It goes back to the good old fashioned Batman. Yeah, let's just rip your heart out at the end of an episode.
Oh,
yeah.
geez, I know the last line. Oh man, I can't wait till we talk about that one. But yeah, so we get these little kids that that are wearing like, they look like they're just from the street. They got some hats on, and they got that raggedy like old clothing and everything. And of course, they're just stealing things left and right. Barbara sees it at first, and then of course Montoya, she gets it. She's got the earpiece, and they're talking about like things are happening right now. So they jump into action, even though it's kind of weird. She just pulls out her gun and just starts going like, whoa, get into business right there. But then, of course, we find out that, oh, look what's happening here. We got Clayface that he has learned to break himself off to make, children.
Yes.
Which,
Yeah,
of
but
course,
but that creepy thing where they all like melt together to make Clayface. It was so great to hear Ron Perlman again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely was great to hear Ron Perlman. I believe he has another voice in the next. You hear him again.
You're right. I'm so proud of you, Dave.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it. He's one of the Joker's goon guys.
He is one of the Joker's goons.
Yeah, it's hard to do, hard to miss Ron Perlman's voice. When I heard it, I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. Why not? You already have him. Might as well have him do a goon. Why not? But anyway, so of course he talks about how he's learned how to, being a shapeshifter and learning how to do that. And then, of course, he does that creepy thing where it was kind of weird. Like his head like turns and then like the mouth opens and then it's like Bullock's head. I was like, good God, that was a creepy way to do that. And then changes into Montoya's head, does that whole thing where it's like, yeah, you can't stop me now, blah, blah, blah. But obviously Barbara, who has her Batgirl costume ready to go. I mean, I like how she has to like, okay, let me duck over here. And then you see her kind of just start putting on the costume.
Because she's not wearing the Batgirl costume underneath her real clothes. She actually does have to strip down and put the Batgirl suit on.
Yeah, so it's not quick. But then, when she jumps in the action, she kicks him right in the face. Good old kick to the face that knocks him out the window. And then, of course, there's an ice skating rink out in front of this building. It's like a Rockefeller Center type.
I was thinking, it was the Rockefeller Center. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And falls through the ice and comes back up. And then, of course, it's like when Montoya and Bullock come down there and obviously Batgirl's taking them on, they start firing at him, but it's like stupid. It's not doing anything. The bullets are just passing right through. And then Batgirl, using her noggin, just goes, don't shoot at him, save your ammo, shoot at Santa. And I love how Bullock was like, is she
You
serious?
wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
You would.
Yeah. That was a funny little gag, because obviously Bullock is still dressed up as Santa. So it was just kind of a funny moment. But yeah, they shoot at this big, huge, lit up Santa. It falls down on Clayface, electrocutes him to get him out, of knock him out, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
So.
just put him out of commission. He's
Yeah,
knocked
there you go.
out.
That's where I was getting at. God,
I know where you're going. That's why I'm here. It's like,
appreciate it.
Here we go. Hope Dave was worried.
You got it.
Worried.
But yeah, but see, there you go. So yeah, like I said, we got the Christmas tree falling on Harley and Ivy, and then we got the Santa Claus falling on Clayface, and then we jump to
no, but I love the ending gag at the end of that story where like, oh, you think you were done? We got to retrieve the evidence.
Oh yeah,
they all have to, and you're just like, oh, that's gross.
Like again, I can't do. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so it's like a womp womp, and they end up end each episode with that circle like fade out kind of thing. Like
very Looney Tunes, very Looney
Tunes. So then we get to New Year's Eve, and was it like that in the book too?
No, in the book this is the one date that stayed the same because it had. I mean, the whole crux of the story is the idea of a New Year's Eve celebration, so it has to be December 31st. So cool little tidbit though. I want our audience to pay attention to this though.
Okay.
The broadcast one. Did you catch the quarterback's name?
No, I did not.
Altieri's going back for a pass. Of course, referring to Kevin Altieri, who was a longtime director of these episodes. He even drew the art for one of the stories in the comic book. Yeah. So they named the quarterback after Kevin Altieri. That was kind of cool. But another thing is the speech that Joker gives on the television set. They reuse that for Return of the Joker.
No shit. Oh wow. Yeah.
He's even dressed. When we get to Return of the Joker, I'm going to point it out.
Wow.
The footage is on the back computer. He's even wearing the football referee attire, like in
good catch.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. I never spotted that, but
it's great continuity that later on that's what Bruce is using because it's for voice recognition in Return of the Joker.
That's right. That's pretty cool. And of course, this is where we get introduced to our Tim Drake Robin. I mean, again, it was just kind of like I remember just jumping in it and being like, wait a minute, what's going on? Because we don't get that backstory quite yet. When do we get the backstory of that?
Literally the next episode.
It is the next episode
not our next episode, but of the next episode of Batman is the Tim Drake origin story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so we just kind of go, all right. It's young Robin. What's going on here? Maybe at first
things because in the comic, Robin's not in this story.
Yeah.
So they intentionally put Tim Drake Robin in this episode as kind of a, hey, we're gonna have a young Robin in this season, before Robin gets introduced. It was an interesting choice.
It is.
But this is technically our introduction to Tim Drake in the series.
It's an interesting one to do that. He's very he's very anxious, grabs the file when it comes to all this, and he's very much just like, okay, he's anxious to do it. But I just still remember going like why is he so young? Like, my God, it's just so young. It's like, why would Batman have somebody so young? But I'm like, it's just like that. I mean, obviously, when it came to Robin, he started young, or Dick Grayson started young too. But yeah, but I do like I said, I like the fact that they went with like the all red, as opposed to the green tights.
It's a good once again, they simplified it. Like that was the whole deal with these redesigns for season 3 was streamline, simplify, make it easier to animate.
Yes. And then the Joker message was, of course, earlier, and he's claimed one victim, which they show like the guy. That's the file that we're looking at.
They don't even show the guy. They literally just show a like a chalk outline on the ground. it's kind of funny because in the comic they actually go to, like, you see him dead, like they actually, like, it's not a file, like they actually go to the crime scene and discover the dead body. But I'm gonna say something about this version of the story. We get a lot more like dead Joker victims than we ever got.
Yeah.
Like, they never actually like ended up dead in the first 2 seasons. Like, no, these guys are they dead. Like,
Yes. And Batman gets shot.
yes, he
When do
gets
we actually
shot.
get a Batman get shot? We didn't get that in that. I mean, he was always like, I mean, obviously we had, the Mask of the Phantasm was as graphic as it got when he punched the drones, the helicopters, and blood.
Oh
came
yeah,
out
the
of
blood. Well, and then
Yeah.
also kicking Joker's teeth out.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
too. So like, but this time, like, yeah, in this episode, he actually does get shot by the Joker. When obviously we have the New Year celebration, the countdown, which Gotham has a similar thing where it's like, well, there's a bell, and it's gonna go up, countdown, do all that. Obviously, that's what the Joker message is all about, the countdown thing. But Joker used his noggin to be like, hey, I'm gonna give out a bunch of Joker masks, so then Batman can't find me, essentially. But it's kind of weird because, like, well, it was very easy to find because apparently, the frequency that he's gonna play a frequency that's gonna turn people into, crazy smiling idiots. And you need these special headphones to, I mean, Gordon already knows and he just shows them. So it's like, oh, it again is just 3 stories that are condensed into 22 minutes. So
Yes.
they had to be quick. They had to be quick.
Oh no, I remember looking at the timestamp at my phone as I was watching, going, well, this thing's only going to last like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I did the same thing too. I'm like, wait, how much longer? I'm like, oh man, they got to really like move forward with this episode. And that's why everything's so quick. Gordon goes, here's that. And then Joker's like, I got mask. And then for some reason, people wear those masks. It's like, really? You got to wear it?
That's the part they get.
It's like Gothamites. Hello.
Sometimes Gothamites get what's coming to them. Can I just say that? I mean, one, you still live in the damn city.
Yes.
I mean, that was your first mistake.
That's your first mistake. You haven't moved out.
And then 2, you put up with shit like this. It's like all the people who show up at the Joker parade in '89. It's like,
this is all on you. But I mean, with this one, it's like, who the Joker is, and you're just gonna put on his mask and dance around and be drunk. I guess maybe they're all drunk. That's what.
Well, there's the guy who's like puking because he's like, he's just like, I'm like, okay, you got away with that one, okay?
Yeah, I know. See, they're pushing it a little bit here. You're so obviously when you're a kid, you don't really think about it, but as an adult, we're like, oh, he's gonna throw up because he's drunk. It's like we know what's going on there. As a kid, maybe not so much. But yeah, of course we get this little action sequence. Oh, come on, why did it do that? There we go. All right. So let's start off with we're just gonna go right to the end because, like I said, the way that this episode wraps is just so so beautiful. But hey, there's Tim right there. Let's get it on. It's funny. Ouch. Ouch.
I mean, you're seeing punches connect. I mean,
yes, they are. And then I love how Tim's just on that guy's shoulders. I mean, that's the way you got to do it. Reminds me of Streets of Rage Part 2. Ouch.
Yeah, the champagne went to his head.
Yeah.
Batman.
Batman.
Yeah. Poor Bat.
Those freaking black eyes.
Champagne went right to your head.
Yeah, that's a good joke. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
it is. I like it. Look at that red sky.
I know.
Oh, ouch.
Right in the eye.
Goofy. Then he's just peeing all over it.
Stop it.
Yeah, I know.
And you see him get shot.
Yes. You never see Batman get shot. He got shot right in the arm. And then here comes the womp womp.
Oh no.
Very cartoony.
Yes.
When all else fails, right into the crowd. I'm surprised that could have killed somebody. That's a big dude. That could have freaking broke somebody's goddamn back. So Tim wasn't thinking about that one. He was just like, yeah, let me just kick this guy away. But and then we get this.
Okay, I got to
So
point
good.
something out.
Oh.
You might have to pause it. There, pause right there.
I see it. Wait, no, I don't. Wait, what are you seeing?
The people singing.
Okay.
Bruce Tim, Paul Dini, Eric Radomski.
No shit, that's them.
I'm not sure if they're the voices, but that's who they're drawn as. Like that's from left to right. It's Bruce Tim, Paul Dini, and Eric Radomski.
For some reason, my eyes went to the glasses. I'm like, is she wearing the Clock King's glasses? I'm like, no, that's her eyelids. What am I thinking? Are his eyelids?
And that's not even a she. That's Paul Dini.
I know. I was like, yeah, that's a he. I meant, sorry. I misgendered this animated person. But yeah, I don't know why. I was like, oh, wait, it's because that. No, wait, I didn't know that. That's so sweet that that's them. Wow. I love it. That's so cool.
It's really funny though. People singing the voices. It's the voice of Harvey Bullock. It's Ron Perlman.
It is. You can hear it.
Sorry, fellas.
Sorry, fellas.
We wanted to sing.
That is.
There's Bullock. How we wanted to sing.
Hey.
Happy New Year, Commish. I heard your buddy had a rough night. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't show this time.
See,
Break our
these are the
tradition.
moments with
Right, unless
Batman
I
and
was gonna
Gordon
guess.
that I absolutely
That's it.
love. Like the shirt you're wearing. That's why I love the Batman so much. Is what Pattinson and Jeffrey Wright had as Batman and Gordon is like
them doing this right here.
yes.
They're all close ones.
Yeah.
Well, here's to
He's got the
survive.
bandage on his
Hopefully
arm.
we'll be
This
doing
shot,
again
like
next
I
year.
love this
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
That shot was so great. But of course,
And now,
yeah,
Joe, if I could
just
get one of your
downs that
famous
coffee
cheesesteaks
real
to go,
quick, and then
I'll be
bam,
ready to call it
it's
a
already
night.
gone.
Anything for you.
It's just-
And of course
One
Batman
these years,
pays.
I'm
Yeah.
going to beat him to the check.
so cool. And the way it ends with
Old Lang Syne.
yeah. There he goes.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Well, I mean, Christmas is coming in. Well, we're almost 2 months away. Isn't that weird?
I know, but say yeah, but we haven't even gotten to Halloween yet. Come on.
I know, right? It's like, let's relax. I know. I hate it when stores already start kicking into gear of like putting up Christmas stuff and everything.
Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, you would.
I
You would.
know. Yeah.
Yeesh, yeesh. But yeah, I mean, there we go. Back to Gotham City right there, folks. And just a great anthology episode. And
So for all of you, yes, we're doing season 3 of Batman.
Yeah,
Here it is.
Yeah, people kept asking, like, did you guys do season 3? It's like, no, we're just we hadn't done it yet because we're going in chronological order. Now we have a universe. And now we're just going in that order. And of course, we'll have obviously, the crossovers that'll be coming up too. But what is next week?
Well, we are flying back to Metropolis next week we're going to be live and wired with Livewire.
Livewire. I'm like this one. Like I remember it, but I don't. Like I could see it, but I'm like until I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. Right there.
And there's a lot of great little tidbits to share about the episode. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. So yeah, go ahead and watch that episode, guys. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna be jumping back from Gotham City and Metropolis, and then occasionally we'll be, doing, we'll be in both, which will be fun. So check out that episode. We'll be back here next week at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you guys do that and have and listen to us ramble on as we do. Go ahead and you have anything else you want to say, Scott? Other than that, just plug away.
Well, of course, you can find me on X at ScottDC27, Instagram at McMerlin, and Vero at Scott McClellan. You can find my podcast at DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We're on Vero, Facebook, and YouTube with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com.
There you go. Smash that like, thumbs up, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Film Tricky Live, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Got lots to discuss, of course. And thank you guys for talking some Batman with us again. We will talk to you guys later.